Maybe I could just become the Fire Wolf.
Boogle?
There was never Boogle. There was only ever me.
The friend who had always been by our side, the one we trusted the most, the one we were closest to, was actually the most evil, most brutal firewolf from the legend of Firewolf Valley. Only at that moment did we finally understand everything from the very beginning had been a carefully planned scam. Back then, the Joe used magic pods to seal the firewolf inside a cuckoo fish. And after countless years of waiting, the firewolf finally found his chance. He found us, Ivy and me, two naive and foolish souls who trusted the so-called friend without hesitation, and even helped him break the seal with our own hands, setting him free once again. Ivy and I froze on the spot, our bodies going cold, unable to believe what we were seeing. My most trusted friend was actually the real mastermind behind it all. In that moment, all hope completely shattered, and every belief in my heart collapsed in an instant. I hated his betrayal, and I hated even more the disaster the firewolf had brought to the entire forest.
But why? You ruined everything. There was so much peace here. There was peace here, and you destroyed it. You caused so much pain.
What about my pain? I was the runt of my litter, so my pack tossed me aside to die. And none of the other creatures wanted me around. So I promised myself that one day I would burn the valley down, and those who survived would bow down to me.
Just then, Ivy suddenly rushed toward the magic pods. She wanted to transform into a stronger creature to fight the firewolf. But the firewolf bit her down instantly and violently flung her away. Then the firewolf burned down all the remaining pods.
It's time the valley was ruled by fear again.
Now fully revived, he clearly wanted to reclaim everything that once belonged to him. But I didn't abandon Ivy. I dragged my weak body, desperately pulling her, even though she weighed several times more than me, step by step, struggling toward Bird Mountain. For an entire day and night, I never stopped and I never rested. With nothing but sheer willpower left, I finally brought Ivy back to Bird Mountain.
Ivy?
Help her. When we woke up the next day, both of us were safe and unharmed. We held each other tightly and finally understood one truth. True friendship never changes because of different species. Even if we were once natural enemies, we could still warm each other's hearts. But right then, ashes suddenly began falling from the sky. After regaining his freedom, the firewolf had fully revealed his cruel and evil nature. He burned down the entire valley. Now the forest was engulfed in flames and screams echoed everywhere. All living beings were facing total destruction, and Ivy finally managed to convince her entire tribe. Everyone decided to set out together to rescue the animals trapped in the Sea of Fire and send them across the river to Pruce Mouse Island. Because that place had become the only safe refuge left. But how to cross the river became the biggest problem. Before we could figure anything out, the Red Leaf Wolves also arrived at the riverbank.
Thank you for saving my son. What do you say?
Thank you.
We can help.
They were here to help as well. With the help of the wolf pack, everyone slowly crossed the river using floating logs. But when my dad saw how many animals I had brought back, he completely lost it. Especially when he saw the old rivals, the Gavin birds. He nearly broke down. Is this kid trying to get everyone killed before he's satisfied? No matter how hard I tried to explain that they were only seeking refuge, my dad refused to trust any other tribe. So I had no choice but to tell everyone about the terrifying legend. It turned out everything in the legend was real. The forest now was facing an unprecedented disaster. Only if all tribes worked together would there be a chance to defeat the firewolf. Dad, I know you're scared, but we have to trust each other. After hearing this, my dad finally believed me and finally accepted the other tribes. But right then, the evil firewolf had already jumped onto the floating logs, not planning to spare a single life. Suddenly, I remembered that the firewolf had once been sealed by the Joe. So I returned to the tree hollow where I had transformed before and kept calling out the Joe's name. I asked him if he could grow another magic pod again. Unexpectedly, a miracle really happened. The dead Zoe actually responded to my wish.
Zoe.
Can't be.
Okay, Ollie, we got this.
Holly?
That's our son!
Just as the firewolf was about to storm ashore and unleash slaughter, I, now transformed into the Zoe, was already standing in front of him. I easily extinguished his flames and knocked him straight to the ground. But just as Ivy rushed forward, holding a magic pod, ready to turn the firewolf back into a cuckoo fish again, the firewolf suddenly stood up. The The flames on his back instantly burned the pod to ashes. He wasn't gonna fall for the same trick twice. Even though the Dozo's body was enormous, it was far too slow. I couldn't catch the Firewolf's agile movements at all. Soon, my entire body was swallowed by flames. All that seemed left for me was total destruction. The Firewolf stood high above me, his eyes filled with cold mockery. But right then, countless vines suddenly crept out from the ground, tightly wrapping around his limbs, locking him completely in place. And I gathered every last bit of strength I had left and smashed the rocks blocking the river channel. Then, together with the Firewolf, I fell into the river. The water flowed back into the forest, and I finally saved the entire valley. I protected my home and safeguarded all living beings. But after that, my figure completely disappeared. The valley returned to peace, becoming beautiful and full of life once again. The Prus Mouse tribe and the Gavin birds, once eternal enemies, finally let go of all prejudice and misunderstanding. They shook hands and chose to live in unity. Together, they protected this hard-won home until one day, the Zo appeared in the valley again, and Ivy suddenly noticed something. On the back of the largest Dizo, there was a figure she knew all too well. That person was Miali.
Ollie! Oh, Ollie! You're alive! Ah! I thought you were gone forever! Where have you... How did you...
The Zo, they found me. You know, they have these things called magic pods.